Hi guys, it's Hennymaker and today we're finally going to look at the first episode of the much hyped and much promised anime Solo Leveling. I don't know what about you guys, but I've been waiting for the first episode for about a year. This anime is based on a South Korean web novel written by Chugon, and the alternative title for this web novel is Only I Level Up. And it seems to me that the second variant suits the plot better. The television series adaptation is produced by A1 Pictures Anime Studio. And you know guys, this studio knows a lot about producing good anime. Just look at Fairy Tail, The Seven Deadly Sins, Erased, and of course Sword Art Online. So I have high expectations for this title. So let's look at the first episode. 3 years ago on Jeju Island, there is a massive battle between hunters and monsters. This battle was very significant in the anime universe, that's why probably it was shown at the very beginning of the episode. Already here we can see how many different superpowers hunters can have, all in the best traditions of RPG games, elemental spellcasters, healers, tanks, etc. And as we know, the more diverse superpowers, the more interesting battles. However, here the monsters prevail in number and power and the hunters don't do well. But of course, the big upcoming time, the squad of S-rank hunters, yeah, sounds cool. Here we already can see more colorful characters. They essentially stand out on the general background. The same goes for monsters. The higher they rank, the more dangerous and terrifying they are. Although, in my opinion, if we take into account that for hunters these monsters have quite high level, I would like to see someone more interesting than a swarm of colorful ants. But the battle continues. Our S-rank hunters are doing quite well. One notable hunter for us in this episode is the red-haired jinwoo. We see that he has partially applied his signature technique of turning into a beast, transforming only his hands into clawed paws. Also in this episode we get our first look at another very strong S-rank hunter, Jonin. He is the strongest firebender in Korea and he will play a decisive role in this battle. Then we're finally brought in the course of things. 10 years ago around the world began to appear gates that lead to other dimensions. These dimensions are inhabited by monsters that the average person can't kill. So in this world people have awaked magical abilities. Such people are called hunters. Depending on the amount of mana, there are several ranks of hunters. S, A, B, C, D, E. E rank is the weakest, S rank are the strongest, and the straight ceiling can be measured. Once awakened, a hunter's rank cannot be evolved or changed. That's why raising the level of the main character must be something extraordinary, which gives a breakdown in the rule system of this world. Back to the present day, the game opening system is well established. Hunters unite into large guilds and gather in group to kill monsters together. The main character, jinwoo, is the weakest hunter of rank E. He goes only to low-level dangers as he is constantly wounded by weak monsters. At the same time, the guy morally holds up well and doesn't give up his trips to other dimensions, despite the fact that other hunters openly despise him. This already tells us a lot about the moral and strong-willed qualities of the protagonist. And of course, in classic genre fashion, the protagonist has a lovely friend. Joo-hee is the B-rank healer. She is always worried about him and it's obvious to me that she is secretly in love with Jinwoo, although he is too insecure to notice it. So, hunters need to enter the gate, kill monsters and the boss and collect the reward. What I like about this anime, unlike the familiar concept of isekai anime where the worlds exist independently of each other, in this anime the author has connected the real world and the game world with the help of a gate. And items from one world can be transferred and used in the other. For example, weapons. Unfortunately, our protagonist can only afford the simplest dagger, as he has no money for better weapon. Resources from other worlds are very available indeed. The government cooperates with guilds of hunters to establish a supply of valuable materials. The main and most valuable resource is magic ore, which retains its magical abilities even in the human world. Crystals of magic ore have different properties, and their value depends on the monsters from which it was obtained. In general, this is pure business, where for good reward hunter risked his life. Although it's still a mystery to me why Jinwoo with such a low rank chose the path of a hunter instead of fighting another normal good job. He's constantly risking his life. In this raid, he was lucky to have a healer, otherwise he wouldn't have gotten out the danger alive. Some squads don't take healers with them at all because they are too confident in their power. Globally, of course, the meaning of magic ore can be of great benefit of mankind. It's not only a material for magical weapons and equipment, but also considered as a new alternative source of energy. Well, as usual, the goal is noble, but the consequences are unknown. While the protagonist was being healed, the squad managed to kill all the monsters and collect the reward. I told you he looked annoyed. It was either because of Jinwoo's carelessness or because she had to spend all her time healing him again, I don't know. There were 2 more healers in the squad, but no one else needed help. And it was only a D-rank dungeon, so the group had no trouble taking down the boss. Wolf or dog, I don't know who's that. The hunters were not happy though, because the reward was much less than they expected. Jinwoo got only 1 low-rank crystal. It was already a success, but it wasn't enough for him. With his financial problems, he has to go on raid like this almost every day. Then one of the hunters accidentally finds a way into another tunnel. And so it begins, go further into the unknown or be left with a mega catch. It was decided by a vote. Whether by fate or not, the last vote had Jinwoo. He thought first of all of his family, of course his mother and sister whom he must support. It was mentioned here that his father went missing when he was a child. Usually when someone says missing, it means we will definitely see him again. Jinwoo's mother is gravely ill, and here is a mystery too, how exactly his mother got sick. All these facts get tangled around Jinwoo and make us realize that his past and his life are not as simple as they seem at the first glance. Okay, next we are showing the process of evaluating the hunter's mana abilities. Candidates come to a special place, take a test and receive instructions. The device measures mana levels and determines a hunter's rank. After the so-called awakening, the hunter can sign a contract with a hunter's guild. Here we meet a mysterious girl who also wants to become a hunter. She looks like a schoolgirl, but it seems to me that she will turn out to be someone very cool. There are always a demand for high-ranked hunters, so guilds are trying to attract them as soon as they awaken. Jonin, who we already saw at the beginning of the episode, is the guild master of one of these guilds. And there is a vice guild master, another S-rank hunter, He-in. In battle she is great, very fast and agile. That is why she is known as a dancer. Moreover, she is considered the 3rd strongest hunter in Korea. So everyone's crazy about her, but I guess she doesn't like the attention. All these rank hunters are very famous. Countries have several S-rank hunters that they are proud of. Therefore, such hunters can be considered a national treasure. They can't just walk down the streets unnoticed, fans are everywhere. But anyway, let's return to our dungeon. The squad has been walking down to the tunnel about 40 minutes. Joo-hee scolds Jinwoo but still offers to have dinner together. I have mixed feelings about Joo-hee's character actually. She blames Jinwoo for continuing to go to dungeons. Although, in my opinion, she is a dubious advisor. She projects her fears onto Jinwoo. As a B-rank hunter, she avoids all risk settling for low-rank dungeons. Meanwhile, finally they came to the gate, and at this point, if I were an experienced hunter, I would have realized that it's not a good idea to go in there. The entrance to the boss hall is too artsy. This can't be good at all. The world on the other side of the gate hasn't yet been fully explored. Every raid is a lottery. No one should lose vigilance and be overconfident. But there is a large hall with many statues around the perimeter inside. One of the main theories of this universe says that all this was set up by some creature that was inside the main statue. The further events were predetermined from the moment Jinwoo passed through the gate. He was purposefully led to this special dungeon, the Temple of Parthenon. The temple has 3 commandments. Worship God, praise God, test your faith. Those who don't follow these laws will not live alive. It really looks like a test of the candidate. And it makes us think that the temple is not just a random name. It's a sacred spiritual place where you can battle your inner fears and find new yourself. In other words, Jinwoo was chosen from the very beginning. For its secret intentions, the creature needs a person with an incredible desire to become stronger. And who would like to become the strongest hunter above all? Right, the weakest hunter, Jinwoo. So the guys got trapped. The most desperate hunter tried to get out, but the statue immediately eliminated him. At that moment, everyone realized the real danger. This was definitely not a rank D dungeon as it was supposed to be. It was most likely an S-rank dungeon, if this place could be classified as any kind of dungeon at all. The statue of God is watching them. And we probably won't recognize its full potential, since it's unlikely that we've been showing even 1/100th of its power in this episode. But sure, those who have read the web novel know what I'm talking about. Now, in order to survive, hunters need to use all their skills. Unexpectedly, Jinwoo isn't so weak. He has faced death so many times that he is, at this point, very experienced in matters of survival. Without much physical or magical strength, he had always had to observe his surroundings very carefully. And this time too, it helps him not to fall a victim of the statue's laser gaze in the first few minutes. In any case, the hunter have no choice but to accept their fate. Or will someone risk a fight? We will see it in the second episode. Overall, the first episode establishes a solid foundation for what promises to be a thrilling anime. We also expect a lot of diverse and interesting characters. I can't say anything about soundtracks or opening yet, but I do like the fight scenes here. They are so colorful and dynamic. What are your impressions of the first episode? Share in the comments. Thank you for watching, I'll be glad to see your likes, subscribe to the channel, and let's continue to follow Jinwoo's story together.